Pregnancy and career growth, a successful career or an active family life. So what to choose? A great number of women are scared to make this decision. They are afraid to lose a successful career they've been working for so many years by simply starting a family. So today I would like to raise two very important questions: career growth and maternity. Are these two things actually controversial? And is there a way to combine them? This project is launched by a woman for women. The aim of this video is to draw world society's attention to this problem, to face these fears and concerns that women have to go through, to find a possible solution, and to share our experiences together. My name is Dasha Shunina, and I have been working in the sphere of technology entrepreneurship for more than 6 years. I'm a tech professional, I'm a working mother, I'm a woman in tech. And I have a beautiful 2-year-old daughter, and right now I'm expecting my second baby to come. I would like to show on my own example to women having fears and concerns that kids can actually be your biggest motivation. For me, pregnancy wasn't a stop factor. For me, it was a booster of my career. And when I got pregnant, I had the same fears and concerns, but I advanced my career to the highest level. And of course, I would like to tell you more about my experience, because these misconceptions and this attitude that I had from my colleagues, top management, is worth sharing. And I know myself how difficult it is and how challenging it can be. So let me guide you through my journey. Let me share my own experience, and then let's discuss it together. First of all, I would like to mention some things that are totally okay when you're a future mother or when you're pregnant. Number one, it's absolutely fine to have fears. You don't know how your body will react to the pregnancy. You don't know how you will mentally react. You don't know what to expect, and that's normal. We all have fears. You are not a robot. Number two, it's okay to cry at night. Sometimes you can be overwhelmed, and it's absolutely normal to release your emotions. We all do this. That's fine. Number three, it's okay to ask for help. If you need any help with your baby or with your work, with home, with house, with anything, you can always ask your grandparents, your husbands, your brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, nieces, everyone. That's normally, even your friends and colleagues can help. It's totally fine to ask for help. And of course, number four, it's okay to spend some time to yourself. If you feel like you need to read a book in a locked room, that's normally fine. If you feel that you want to be alone, that's fine. You deserve it, and you have a right to do so. Another important block of questions is fears. Because when we talk about our fears, we identify them, we face them, so then we can work with these fears in the future. And I would like to underline the main fears that women usually have. I have done a lot of research regarding this topic, and I think that it's worth sharing with you. So number one fear that usually women have to deal with is to get fired or to lose their career. Unfortunately, we did have cases like this. And for every woman, when she gets pregnant, she's really worried about losing her career because she has been really active for some period of time. She has deserved and she has reached a certain level of career proficiency. And of course, she doesn't want to lose it. She doesn't want to be fired because of the pregnancy. She doesn't want to have this maternity penalty. And I totally understand it. However, trust me, not always pregnancy can be this top factor, and not always it can affect your career. It all depends. Plus, with the opportunities that we currently have with remote work, things get so much easier. Also, every woman is afraid to be forgotten. Because when you are an active part of the working society, you go to a lot of conferences, you go to a lot of events, you drink coffee with your colleagues, you're scared to be forgotten. Number 3, you're scared to be replaced by a new professional, because while you're on maternity leave, and the duration of maternity leave differs from country to country. In some countries, it's more than a year. In some countries, it's less than 3 months. Despite the duration of maternity leave, women are scared to be forgotten and to be replaced by a new professional. They're scared that a new person who comes will be better, smarter, or younger, and that's an issue. Another fear is to lose your skills, but this is the biggest misconception that I have ever heard of. And my colleagues, they did scare me the same way, that you will become a vegetable, you won't be able to think normally, your brain activity will be slower. That's not true, absolutely, especially if you don't stop, especially if you continue working during your pregnancy and you continue working after giving a birth in some time, you won't lose your skills. Moreover, a lot of researches and statistics show that actually mothers are more productive and effective and responsible than women who don't have kids. Another big fear is to be not able to attend different events and conferences because you have to sit with your baby. So let me share my personal experience. Last year, I spent traveling around the world with my husband and my daughter. That was 1 year and a half. That was the greatest experience in my life. So while I was working, my husband helped me with my daughter, and they were having fun. As a result, we traveled the world. She got a lot of information about different cultures. She got a lot of experience, and I was able to attend the conferences. Plus, on most of the conferences, they went with me and they were looking at me and they supported me. And trust me, this is the biggest support you can dream of, honestly. Another important fear is to become a troublemaker, to become a complainer, because, for example, on the 8th or 9th month, you're not so fast, you cannot run, or you cannot carry heavy things. But that's just such a short thing. I mean, in the lifetime, you will never see it. Of course, different pregnancies, they have different health conditions and different women react differently, but you shouldn't be worried about this because it's such a little thing, and even healthy people sometimes need to visit doctors, make appointments, so that's totally normal. One more fear is to get less money or to have worse salary after getting back. Is like people think that, okay, you had a break, now you come back, you don't deserve higher salary. And a lot of women face this problem, and I think it needs to be solved. This is a problem that we have to work on, and that is very widespread, that women tend to get less money after they get back, and like their managers think they don't deserve future promotion. But again, it all depends on you. It all depends on the company, and you should stay for your interests. One more fear is to have a known uncertain future, because when you get pregnant, you don't know how it goes, and you don't know when you get back, and it scares you a lot. So all these fears put so much pressure on a woman that if she wants to be responsible and come to this point when I want to get pregnant, and I want to realize all the things that can happen, the woman has so much pressure, she's so stressed out that sometimes she can make a wrong decision. So that's why that is the aim of this project, to show all these fears and then to think, what can we do with them? How can we help? How can we resist, and how can we change this situation? What are the main problems that exist in our society right now? First of all, pregnancy discrimination. In some companies, and in some countries, not everywhere, we still have this issue as a pregnancy discrimination. People think that if the woman decides to get pregnant, she doesn't want to advance her career. Why? I have never understood it. I mean, what do you mean? Having a baby doesn't mean that you don't want to be a professional. Having a baby doesn't mean that you don't want to work anymore. I mean, these things can live together absolutely normal. One more problem is that women are penalized by starting families, this motherhood penalty, as we call it, that people think, okay, no more career advancement, no more higher salary, so you don't need anything else because you choose a family. But you don't actually have to choose, you can combine them both. Number three is negative attitude from your colleagues, like, oh, okay, you're pregnant, so I will have this call myself. Or, okay, you're pregnant, probably I will meet this delegation. Going to the meetings with a belly, being pregnant, and visiting different conferences, different meetings is absolutely normal. And if I ever experienced some discrimination being on the meeting pregnant, I would definitely like hit this person right away, because if you have a belly, it doesn't mean that your brain activity stops. There is no connection at all. Another problem is lack of confidence. And this is something that is really very important because this is a psychological issue. And when you have so much pressure, you have lack of confidence. You think, okay, I'm pregnant. They think that I will probably take a break. They think that I will stop, that I will pause my career, and that what I felt when I first got pregnant, I clearly felt it that everyone thinks like, okay, we're gonna have a new person, a new professional, and Dasha won't be here. She would care about feeding baby and nothing more. No way. That's not only my concern. I can do both, and everyone can. One more important problem is less opportunity of career advancement. Like, especially it matters in those countries where maternity leave is pretty long. And on the one hand, it's really good, but on the other hand, there is a problem that some employers, they are scared to get a woman because she can get pregnant and like jump out of working responsibilities for 1, 2, 3 years. However, it shouldn't be this way, and not all women want to take maternity leave. Or some women can choose remote work or hybrid work or different other formats. So these are the main problems that I have identified. And right now, let's talk about possible solutions. What do experts say? What do I offer? How I struggled and how it helped me. Let's see. Let me share some statistics with you. That's really important and really interesting. 66% of women think pregnancy puts their career at risk. So can you believe it? 66% of women are scared to get pregnant because they're so afraid of losing their career. Women tend to hide their pregnancy. They feel awkward telling to their bosses that they're pregnant, and really when I got pregnant, I felt this way because I didn't tell my boss till the first month, but actually he realized it first and I just confirmed. But the question to tell or not to tell is only up to you. You don't have to do it right away. And honestly, you don't have to do it during the first 3 months even, because your belly is invisible and that's just too early. You don't know, like you need to get it some time. But then it's up to you when to tell it. Of course, if you're a responsible professional, it's better to say in advance, but it will be pretty obvious, so you can't hide it for a long period of time, just for some, but it's totally up to you when to tell and how to tell. 81% of working moms are nervous to approach their boss about certain topics, including pregnancy. So 81% of women, they don't feel comfortable telling about their pregnancy because they don't know what reaction will be. 21% would be really worried to tell their boss they're expecting a child. 65% of women without children have worries about having a child, including 42% who worry their career trajectory would be negatively impacted, put on pause, or unable to advance as quickly as of their peers without kids. What does it mean to lead like a mom? 89% of American workers agree that working moms in leadership roles bring out the best in employees. So actually, being a working mom gives you a lot of opportunities. As compared with working fathers or employees without kids, they also describe mothers as better listeners, calmer in crisis, more diplomatic, and better team players. And trust me, really, when you do have kids, you learn how to be better, and your kids make you stronger because some basic things or some soft skills can be taught really well with them. What solutions can be found? Let's see how can we help working mothers? How can we escape this maternity penalty? So what do I suggest and what do experts say about this issue? First of all, providing flexible hours. And if COVID was able to change it, why working mothers cannot? That's pretty normal if you spend some days in the office, some days at home. And working at home doesn't mean doing nothing. This is the biggest misconception that I have ever heard, because you work the same, but your baby is just calmer because she or he feels that mother is at home. And that works much better. And I personally spent 2 years working at home, and I was really busy and I was super productive, and it didn't stop me from advancing my career and from achieving great results. So flexible hours for working moms is a good thing to do. To embrace remote work. Remote work is the great thing. And if a woman doesn't want to work remotely, it's her choice. But if she wants, why not to let her? It's totally fine sometimes to go for some meetings and events. But if most of your hours are spent remotely, that's absolutely okay. Why not to? I think that COVID has shown us that remote work is not less productive. It's actually sometimes even more productive because you are available 24 hours, 7 days a week. Another thing is to create more opportunities for women, for the company. The company should start thinking how to help working mothers, what to do. A company needs to appreciate them. A company needs to evaluate this hard work they're doing. We should even think more about promoting them because they are the breadwinners. They have to work, they have to think about their kids and their future. Also, equal consideration for career opportunities. So they should be equal for men, women, for women with kids and for women without kids. You cannot judge a woman or a worker whether he has kids or he doesn't have kids. So that's very important, and that's something that the top management of major companies should realize. Opening the door for working moms. The company should make some campaigns to support working moms. Why can't we say that I'm the company and we support working mothers, we hire working mothers? That's great. One more is help to plan maternity leave arrangements. Help mothers to realize what duration of maternity leave should be, what should they do, what shouldn't they do, help them to plan, think about when she will return, think about the future career possibilities. So the management should be supportive. Another thing is normalizing breastfeeding in the workplace, having special rooms for this, because sometimes, I know it's on my personal experience, if you need to breastfeed your baby at the conference, you need to have a quiet place. And toilet or bathroom is not always a good idea because it's not always clean or it's not always comfortable. So having this room everywhere in common places and its working places is normally. It doesn't mean that you will breastfeed your baby all day long. It just means that if you have some events and mothers come with their kids, that's totally fine. One more is providing child-friendly office spaces. So we have pet-friendly offices. Why don't we have child-friendly offices? Why don't we have kindergartens or daycare in the offices. That would be actually the best idea if we do have a daycare facilities at work. Some big companies as Apple or Google for sure can have some rooms and places for women to leave their kids. And what's more, it can be really high qualified, and of course it should be paid by the company, or at least some discounts, really good discounts should be provided. And if a woman goes with her baby to working place and she knows that the baby is at the daycare and is taken care of, the woman would be super productive, the woman would be relaxed, the woman wouldn't be stressed. That's just the perfect scenario. And one more is just to work on your workplace culture and mindset. So it has to be changed. So mothers are people. Sometimes they're even better and more organized. But no matter who we work with single mothers, with men, with women without kids, with child-free women, we have to think about all of these categories equally. So that's what we should target. That's the most important thing. So what I want from you is to let me know if you are a working mother and share this experience with me. Participate in this project and always be open and honest. Talk to your colleagues, talk to your management. Don't be scared of losing your career and choose what you want. Career growth, maternity leave, or all together. And trust me, these things are not controversial and they can be combined.